and she receives a message on her phone telling her to walk on the train tracks and stand at a wall with the number 1114. When she arrives, she is shocked to see the metro coming toward her, so she tries to escape and avoid it, but another metro comes from the opposite direction and runs her over, killing her. We then move to a man named Max, who works as a software engineer in a big company in Thailand. It's his last day at the company because he is returning to America. After finishing his work, he goes back to the hotel he is staying in, and the receptionist gives him a box that arrived for him by mail. There's no sender name written on it. Max goes to his room, opens the box, and is surprised to find a strange-looking mobile phone inside. He receives a message from an unknown person saying, "Don't return to America now because the hotel you're in will reduce its prices by half until the end of the week." Max calls room service to confirm and discovers that there really is an offer until the end of the week, so he decides to delay his travel and stay 2 more days in the hotel. When he goes downstairs, he sees on the news that the plane he was supposed to board has crashed, and all the passengers died. Max is shocked. Then he gets another message telling him to buy shares in a company called Caesar. He ignores it and talks to the receptionist, thinking she sent the messages. She tells him she knows nothing about them and that she doesn't even have his number. Max returns to his room and calls the phone company to know the name of the person sending the messages, but they tell him the name isn't registered. By coincidence, Max is shocked and assumes the phone predicts the future. The next day, he receives another message telling him to travel to the Czech Republic, so he decides to go and see what is happening. When he arrives, he meets a taxi driver named Yuri who offers to take him to the hotel for a cheap price. Max agrees, and during the ride, Yuri notices Max's phone and says it looks very advanced. Yuri gives Max his card, telling him he's a mobile expert and can help if needed. When Max reaches the hotel, he receives a message telling him to go to the casino, sit at machine 13, and bet his money 3 times. On the 4th time, he will win a lot of money. He goes to the casino and finds someone sitting at machine 13, so he pays him 100 euros to leave. Max plays and wins $100,000 on the 4th try, exactly as the phone predicted. The casino security watches everything through cameras and suspects Max is cheating. Later, Max receives another message telling him to bet all his money on table number 6. He does and wins $200,000. Security notices the phone and sends someone to warn Max that phones are not allowed. Max leaves and calls Yuri, asking him to come quickly because he wants to convert the phone's messages into voice output so he can hear them without taking out the phone. Yuri agrees and says he will come before traveling to Russia in 2 hours. Max leaves the hotel and sees a woman named Camellia arguing with her boyfriend. He tries to help her, but her boyfriend hits him and knocks him out. It turns out the whole thing was staged by Camellia to steal his SIM card, and she's working with casino security. When Max wakes up, he finds Camellia apologizing. Then Yuri calls saying he has arrived. Max goes down, gives Yuri the phone, and Yuri converts the messages to audio. Max gives him 500 euros. Max enters the casino again and receives a new message telling him to play in the Eastern Wing. He plays and wins $3 million. Security starts chasing him. He runs until an investigator named Grant tackles him and arrests him. Security Chief John arrives and talks to Grant, saying he wants to question Max about how he won the money. Grant refuses and takes Max to an abandoned place, threatening him with a gun to force him to reveal what he knows. Max tells him the truth that the phone arrived in a mail package in Thailand. Grant believes him. Grant explains that many people had this phone before Max. They also received messages from an unknown person ordering them what to do in exchange for massive earnings. But all of them eventually died. They've known about this phone for a long time, yet no one knows who is sending the messages or what the real purpose is. Grant decides to make Max work with him to catch the sender. He tells Max to return to the hotel and act normally. Grant will meet him there. Meanwhile, John meets Muller, the casino owner, who tells him Max has cost them over $3 million and asks John to monitor him. Max meets Camellia in the bar, gets to know her, and then security takes him to meet John and Grant. Grant gives him the phone with a tracking device installed and orders Max to follow every message. Through 3 messages. They will locate the sender. Max receives message 1, play at table 5, message 2, bet all your money. Now only 1 message is left, but it never comes, and Max loses all his money. Then he receives a warning message: if you turn off the phone again, you will die. Suddenly, Burke, the national security director, is shocked as he sees that the sender is inside their own headquarters. He orders his team to shut down their devices. A man from Grant's team takes the phone from Max and turns it off. Later, Grant turns it back on and finds a message telling Max to go to a certain location at 10 o'clock. Burke suggests sending a man who looks like Max instead. They do, and he receives a message to cross the street. The traffic light shows green, but suddenly someone changes it. A car hits him and kills him. Meanwhile, Max is at Camelia's house. A sniper aims at him, intending to kill him. Camelia notices and saves him. Then she sees on the security camera that a gang is coming upstairs to kill Max. She hides him in the bathroom. She tries to grab the gun under the table, but gets shot in the shoulder. The gang breaks the door. She grabs a metal rod and kills one of them. Another enters. She hides and attacks him, but he throws her to the floor. Max arrives and shoots the attacker in the leg. Camelia finishes him off. John arrives, takes Max, and reveals Camelia works with him. Grant receives a message. "I see you, Grant. I know you have the phone, and not Max." Max tells John he wants to go to Russia to see Yuri, because Yuri is a hacker and mobile expert who can locate the sender. John refuses, but Max insists. John gives him a copy of the SIM and decides to go with him. When they arrive in Russia, Burke tracks them and orders Grant to bring them back before the sender kills them. Max and John reach Yuri's house. John suspects Yuri. Thinking it's strange he offered help so quickly, Yuri swears he knows nothing and promises to identify the sender in 2 hours. John and Max take a walk. John tells Max he used to work with Grant in the federal police, but resigned because of conflicts with Burke, who always interfered with his work. They return to Yuri, who reveals that the sender is a spy inside national security sending messages from the headquarters as cover. The phone is just a trick he invented, Yuri explains. The plane Max was supposed to take had no fuel. The crash was predictable, so the sender made Max think the phone predicted the future. The casino wins were possible because the spy hacked the camera and gaming systems, controlling cards and machines remotely. Before Yuri continues, national security officers arrive to arrest them. They escape, steal a car, and are chased until John stops and blows up Grant's car. Grant emerges and reveals he is with them, not against them. Max then receives a message telling him to go to the computer company he worked in 5 years ago. They go with a police team and break in, but the company is abandoned. Max gets a message telling him to activate the security system. He does so to see what the sender is planning. He enters the system with his old password, but the data is hidden. They leave the company, and a police officer tells Grant that the company owner also once had the same phone and died 3 years ago after stealing all American system data. They return inside and deduce the sender chose Max because he has the security system password, which allows the sender to steal national data. Max tries to shut down the system, but he receives a message saying, "Don't stop." The sender manages to steal all banking account data of the entire American population. Grant calls Burke to report what happened and discovers Burke is the sender. Burke explains he received orders from the US president to do this so the government can control all citizens' money. Grant and John decide to stop him. They fight Burke's men, and Max hacks the system and shuts it down at the last moment. Grant's men arrest Burke and his team. Later, intelligence officials arrest Burke for what he did. Months later, Max, John, and Grant are released from prison after saving America. Camelia gives Max a check for $3 million, a reward from the casino owner for saving the American people. And here the movie ends. I hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.